our guns, our slings up against there, and when something came in, we just pop them, and we were able to hang the birds up right there. There was nothing better, in my opinion, waterfowl wise, than a good timber hunt.
No, timber hunt beats anything.
Now the work is hella hard. You're going to work for it for sure. Every step is a grind. You don't know if that's going to be the one you're going to be sinking into, and you're going to start taking water.
Yep.
And that goes into the next topic is going to be actually gear. Like, what type of gear fits your style the best? I mean, are you a wader guy because of your field to water, or are you a just boots and coveralls? Like, what type of, let's just say bottom? What bottom outer layer do you use? Like, do you have waders on when you're in your blind, or are you wearing boots and coveralls, something to keep you warm?
I will stay in waders. I used to wear bibs and muck boots, but I just stay in waders because I'm either gonna retrieve the birds, or I'm setting out the water decoys the way I want them, or the way my brother that hunts with me wants them, and everybody's setting up the 120 something whatever goose decoys we got. I can get the water ones laid out because I got enough to do how I want to pattern my duck decoys. So I will stay in my waders.
Waders. I actually prefer to not be in waders and get someone young and more agile to go get the decoys and go get the stuff. But you definitely have to do waders. Yeah, you or other people for sure. But no, I agree with you. So your perfect hunt would be a good timber, just straight bang session.
Yep.
So that would be mostly ducks. You won't see a lot of honkers go into those flooded timbers.
And I'd be totally fine with that.
Absolutely. So getting into the field hunt, it's complete different work. It's a complete different workhorse. Any waterfowler is a workhorse. Whether you're on a boat throwing out deeks, whether you're throwing out deeks from the shore and having to go get them after your hunt's over, or you're in the field and you're just putting out dozens of field decoys around all your stuff. How much? It's hard to say. I mean, what type of shape do you need to be in to successfully do this and not kill yourself?
I mean, you need to be in somewhat of shape, because one person could oversleep, say, and then you get there and you gotta get to that point where you gotta hustle, or you get there at a right time where you don't really gotta hustle. You can take your time, do what you gotta do, and take your time on setting everything perfect on how you want to lay your decoys out. I'm not gonna run, that's for sure. I've done it before, and I ain't gonna do it again. So if I gotta get up a little bit earlier, then I'll make sure I'm up a little bit earlier. That way I can take my time, make sure my spread is the way I want it to be by the time shooting light happens. There has been times where we've ran late, and next thing you know, 10 minutes of shooting light, and we still got, probably, a dozen or two decoys to throw out, and we're like, oh crap, so we're definitely booking it to try to get it done. But then when you're done running, you're just like, whoa. And you're waiting for that sit-down time.
Yeah, you're just sitting in the chair waiting for the bird to start cooperating at a time. I can tell you there's been times more often than not where we would show up early. We'd all have lights on our hats. We'd actually have lanterns out in the field or where our blinds are to the beach or something like that, and try to get everything perfect. And we still found a way to still be standing there with our pants down, hypothetically, to not be ready for these birds coming in. And we sit there and crouch down, and whether they commit or not, that's up to them. But no matter, you cannot be too prepared. And can you have too many decoys?
I once heard from somebody told me before, from the splits, from the early season to the mid split to the last split, And I don't know how true it really is because I haven't really looked into it as much as I want to. But I think it was my buddy told me that I hunted with a long time ago during the end split around February-ish, winding down, that they wouldn't throw as much decoys out as, say, mid-season. I don't know if that's 100% true, but I'd like to find out. And go from there and try to adjust.
Right. So with that being said, so you would do less decoys at the end of the year or more?
I've never really changed mine.
Your approach has been consistent. It is what it is.
I've just been going hard and throwing everything I have out.
Yep. So
see what happens.
What I've heard and what I've witnessed was, let's just say September goose, for instance. September goose, we're actually hunting out there, getting stung by bees, in shorts, camo, whatever, and then we would actually put out a little bit of decoy, just a little bit of decoys, just to show something. We wouldn't have any spinners, we wouldn't have any pulsators, we wouldn't have any motion decoys. It would just be dumb geese. They're 99% resident anyways, and they're just looking for somewhere to go. So, we put out 6 decoys, and we sit there, and if it's a slow day, we'll just bring a 6-pack and sit there and drink beer. You know what I mean? Because it's summertime, dude. September here in Virginia, it's hot as shit.
Yeah.
So, and then when when waterfowl season comes on, we tighten up a little bit and we throw a little bit more decoys out and progressively go more. And then at the very, very, very end, on the very last hunt, we'll throw out 6 again.
Gotcha.
And it worked for us, but I'm not saying it's going to work for everybody. But with the specific pond that we were in and the field that we were in, it allowed us to just play with the birds and allowed us to do what we wanted to do because, dude, we're exhausted. Waterfowl season is exhausting.
It is.
You are exhausted. When it's all said and done, you are exhausted. Just like deer season. Like, when deer season is over, Connor and I talked about it. Dude, we are gassed. Yeah. We lived out of our trucks. Waterfowl season, you're living out of your trucks. Your Saturday, or if you're hunting every weekend, your Saturday is you're up really, really early. Your Friday night's then shot. If it's not shot, then you're going to feel it Saturday morning. Mm-hmm. And then Sunday, you kind of have to take up and make up for lost time that you had on Sunday on Saturday. So then it goes to the rest of the work week, and you find yourself living out of your truck, dude.
Yeah.
And then your trailers are all not the way that you want them to be. You are tired no matter what you're doing. You're tired at the end of your hunt.
Yeah.
You're putting out all the decoys. You're picking up all the decoys. You're blind. Your guns, all that stuff. It's exhausting.
100%.
It's exhausting. So, what type of gear would you say outside of a gun? Because a gun is obvious. What type of gear is a must? And let's just say you're honker hunting. Let's say duck is out. And you have 2 weeks left or you have 3 weeks left of just straight goose. You're going to see nothing but canvasbacks and nothing but ducks you want to shoot. You can't. But that's it. I mean, what gear are you bringing to your blind?
For big honkers, I'm bringing a crap ton of double Bs. Because it's liable to go down. There's been times where I've ran out of double Bs years ago, and I won't let that happen again. Other than that, a good goose call is a must. Some warm socks, because if you get cold, it's a wrap. You're sitting in the truck, and your hunt's done. And I'll say other than that, that's roughly pretty amount it. It's just a good call, some shells, a lot of shells, and some warm socks.
I tend to be the overpacker. I overpack for everything. I found myself, even in deer season, I found myself bringing more than what I really, really need, but I could use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in my bag, I'll have calls, and I can tell you right now, and I'll tell this to everyone, I might be one of the worst goose callers out there. I have spent 0 time practicing goose calls. Zero. I've got custom-made goose calls. I got all this stuff, but I don't know how to use it. So, in your group, you have to make sure that you have someone who can at least call, right?
Yeah.
In your group, you also need a workhorse. You need someone who's going to do something that you don't really want to do, so you say, hey, go do this.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And then you have a couple of just, hey, we're just the old boys just shooting the shit. We got the workhorse, we got the caller, and then we got the shooters.
Exactly.
Everyone's going to shoot, but then you get the ones who go get the ducks, or the geese. You got the ones who go out on the boat. Some people just straight up sit there on a bank, and if you get a flock coming in, you shoot them. Before the next flock comes in, we're out running out, and we're rushing to go get the John boat and paddle our asses out there. Oh, by the way, is the plug in the boat? You know?
Yeah, I definitely can vouch for that.
Yeah.
I know. I think it was like the opening day of the third split. Me, Connor, and my cousin went on a duck hunt, and Connor called in these ducks, and my cousin had shot one, and I've never seen a guy so excited. I was going to go out and get the bird for him, but I basically got plowed over, and I sat there because time I could do anything. This 6'5" behemoth was already at the boat, rowing with one paddle to go get his duck. That the boat has multiple leaks in it, and I've never seen that boat move so fast with one paddle in my life.
He was jacked up. He was ready to go.
Dude, he was fired up.
That was it. So that is it. So every group has the workhorse or workhorses. Every group has the caller or callers. And then you get the ones who aren't really good at much, but they're just there for a good time and just to shoot shit.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. And that's what makes a good team. Because waterfowl, dude, have you waterfowl hunted by yourself?
Yeah.
Dude, to me,
it's horrible.
It sucks.
It's horrible. I hunted by myself for almost a whole season. And I had Connor and one of his buddies hit me up. And, I was looking for more people to hunt with. Because I had nobody. So I was putting out almost 100-something decoys by myself. And it would be tough. I'd be getting in a blind like almost 5 minutes or like 10 minutes after shooting light's already going on. And it was very, very difficult to do.
I would never do it again.
No.
It's not worth it. You know what? You might get that duck or get that goose of a lifetime, but you probably won't. And you're working your ass off putting out all those decoys, picking up all those decoys, setting yourself up, doing your own jerk string is another thing that comes in. If you got big open water or you got frozen up water, someone's going to be getting motion. So either you're going to spend money on a pulsator, hopefully it doesn't get wrapped up in something else, or get the ripplers, and then if not, you're going to have a jerk string, or you'll just have all three. So you're going to get someone constantly doing a jerk string, and it's just, dude, the work that everyone puts in a waterfowl hunt is just crazy. And there's different, it's like a football team.
Yeah.
It's like a football team, so it's absolutely crazy. So the gear that I would bring would be, like I said, a gun, of course, waders for if water's involved at all. I'm bringing waders because there's nothing worse than getting your feet wet, like you said, because you're done. You are done. Mm-hmm. I'd bring sandwiches. I try to bring coffee and always bring toilet paper, bro. No matter what I do, I have toilet paper on me 24/7. Every bag I bring in, I'm bringing in toilet paper. So that's where I'm at. So what draws you to be a waterfowl hunter? Because you are a waterfowl hunter. You've dabbled into the deer. You dabbled into the turkey. You are an all-around outdoorsman, but you are a waterfowler.
Yeah.
What draws you into the waterfowl game?
I'd have to say, I've been doing this since I've been 5. And I learned a lot of my stuff from my dad. My dad's done it his whole life. And it's a lot of work. Setting decoys out is a lot of work. Don't get me wrong. It sucks.